Over the course of next few lessons, we will learn how to write programs that print a pattern. Pattern programs are a favorite of ICSE. Almost every year, one question based on patterns has come in Computer Applications Board exam. Most of the students find pattern programs complicated and struggle to solve them correctly. But don't worry, I will show you how to solve them. Once you have gone through these lessons, you will be able to solve pattern programs easily. Before I start pattern programming, I want to tell you a very important thing related to it. Pattern programming is a vast topic. In that, patterns can range from simple ones like these two patterns shown here to complicated ones like these. There is no upper limit to the complex patterns which you can create through code. Keeping this in mind, the Council has done an excellent job in defining the scope of the patterns which will be asked in your board examinations. This is the ICSE Computer Applications Academic Year 2019-2020 syllabus. In the nested loops section here, the syllabus clearly mentions that only rectangular and right-angled triangle-based patterns will be asked in the exam. Here are a few examples of rectangular patterns. And these are some right-angled triangle patterns. Such patterns are in course and can be asked in the exams. Any other type of patterns like pyramid patterns or other complex patterns shown here will not be asked in the exam. So you should only focus on rectangular and right-angled triangle-based patterns for your computer applications board examination. Don't spend your time on any other type of patterns as they will not be asked in the exam. I want to show you one more important thing. Let me switch back to the syllabus. Only nested for loops are in syllabus. Nested while and nested do while are not in syllabus, so I have not covered them in this course. Okay, so with that out of the way and scope of our pattern programming discussion defined, let's start by looking at a few simple rectangular patterns. This is the first pattern that we will learn. In a pattern, there are three basic things. First is the number of rows in the pattern. Second is the number of terms getting printed in each row of the pattern. You can also think of it as the number of columns in the pattern. And the third one is what is getting printed in the pattern. For this pattern, the number of rows is 3. Each row has 5 terms in it, and each term is a star or asterisk. Now let's switch to BlueJ and write a program for it. I have already added this keyboard pattern 1 class. I will write the code for generating this pattern inside the main method of this class. I told you a pattern consists of 3 things: number of rows, number of terms in each row, and what is getting printed. We will translate these 3 things into our Java program. The outer loop controls the number of rows in the pattern. As this pattern has 3 rows, our outer loop will run 3 times. For I equal to 1 till I is less than equal to 3, I will increment by 1 in each iteration. The inner loop controls the second part, that is the number of terms getting printed in each row of the pattern. In this pattern, each row contains 5 stars. So, our inner loop will run 5 times from j equal to 1 till j is less than equal to 5. J will also increment by 1 in each iteration. Okay, so far we have taken care of first 2 things. Next, let's focus on the third one, which is what is getting printed in the pattern. Each row of the pattern contains 5 stars separated by spaces. So inside the inner loop, I will write system.out.print. Then I will open the quote, and inside it I will write star followed by space, and then I will close the quote and end the statement with a semicolon. Notice that I have written system.out.print, not system.out.println. The inner loop controls the number of terms getting printed in each row. If I write println instead of print here, then each star will get printed on its own line. We don't want that. We want the stars of a row to be printed next to each other. For this reason, we have used print and not println. Let me show you what will happen if I write println. That will make it clear. I am changing the print to println. I will execute the program now. As you can see in the output, each row has a single star in it. But our pattern contains 5 stars in each row. That's why this should be print and not println. This is amongst the most common mistakes students make in patterns. So make a note of it, don't forget it. I am repeating it once more. The inner loop controls the number of terms getting printed in each row. So use print and not println to print the terms in each row. I will execute the program again. Oh, this doesn't look like our pattern. All the stars are printed in one single line. Let's check our program to find out what we are missing. The rows should be separated with a new line and we are not doing that. To fix this, we should print a new line after printing each row. The inner loop is printing each row. So, if I write system.out.println after the inner loop but inside outer loop like this, then the rows should be separated with a new line. Note that I have written system.out.println and there is nothing inside the parenthesis, as I only want to print a new line and nothing else. Now let's run the program and hopefully our pattern should get printed correctly. And indeed, our program correctly outputs our pattern. Let's recap quickly before moving on to the next pattern. There are 3 things in a pattern: the number of rows, number of terms in each row, and what is getting printed in the pattern. Outer loop controls the number of rows, inner loop controls the number of terms getting printed in each row, and inside the inner loop, we print whatever is getting printed in the pattern. Inside the inner loop, we use system.out.print, and just outside the inner loop, we write system.out.println so that each row starts on a new line. Moving on. Next, we will print this pattern. Let's compare it to the previous pattern and see what the differences are. Both have the same number of rows, which is 3. In both patterns, stars are getting printed. The only difference is in the number of terms in each row. In this pattern, there are 3 stars in each row, whereas previous one has 5 stars. So, to get this pattern, I should only change the number of times inner loop is executing. Let's go back to the previous program and change the inner loop to get this pattern. So, I will change this 5 to 3 like this. The outer loop and this print statement inside the inner loop will remain the same. Let's execute it. And we got our second pattern. Now let's move to rectangular patterns involving numbers. This is the next pattern that we will solve. I will add another class for this. I will name it keyboard pattern 2. Let's replace this code with the main method. Okay, now we are ready to write the program for this pattern. The pattern has 3 rows, so I will write an outer loop to run for 3 iterations like this. Each row has 5 terms, so the inner loop will execute for 5 times. I will write it like this. Now, what to print inside the inner loop to get this pattern? Notice that the term in each row is the row number and it is not changing within a row. First row has 5 ones, second row has 5 twos, third row has 5 threes. This means that whatever variable that we need to print inside the inner loop should not change its value in the inner loop, but should increment with each iteration of the outer loop. We have two variables currently in our program, I and j. We cannot use j as it is incrementing with each iteration of the inner loop. Let's look at I. It is not changing inside the inner loop, but it is incrementing with each iteration of the outer loop. And that's exactly what we need. Let's print I inside the inner loop like this. Now I will run the program. Oops, this doesn't look like our pattern. It is printing 5 ones, 5 twos and 5 threes, but the rows are not separated with a new line. I again forgot to add system.out.println after the inner loop. Let me correct it. Don't let this happen to you. Remember to add system.out.println after the inner loop. I will run the program again. This time it gives me the correct output. Didn't I tell you solving pattern programs is so easy? Just focus on the three things: the outer loop, the inner loop, and what to print inside the inner loop. And don't forget to add system.out.println after the inner loop. Let's move on to our next pattern. So this is our next pattern. It is a variation of the previous pattern we solved. The only difference between this pattern and the previous one is that previously the numbers in each row were increasing from 1 to 3. In this pattern, they are decreasing from 3 to 1. This means that if I can make the value of I go from 3 to 1 instead of 1 to 3, then I have solved this pattern. And I know doing this is very simple. In the outer loop, I will initialize I to 3 instead of 1. Let me go back to the previous program and show it to you. I will initialize I to 3. I should be greater than or equal to 1. And as I am going from higher value of I towards lower value of I, this should be I minus minus. Let's execute the program now. We got the correct output. Let's move to the next pattern. We will go over it a bit quickly. Let me add keyboard pattern 3 class for this. Let's replace this code with the main method. Now we are ready to code this pattern. This pattern has 5 rows. Each row has 5 terms in it, so our inner and outer loop should execute for 5 times. The numbers in the rows start at 9 and are decreasing by 2 with each row. Let's write the outer loop for this pattern. The outer loop control variable I will start at 9. It should be greater than or equal to 1. And as we are going from a higher value to a lower value, I should decrease by 2 with each iteration. Each row has 5 terms, so our inner loop control variable will start at 1 It will be less than or equal to 5 and will increment by 1. Inside the loop, I will use system.out.print to print the value of I to the console. Don't forget to add system.out.println outside the inner loop. And with this, our program is ready. Let's run it. It is printing the pattern correctly. I hope you have a good understanding of how to solve rectangular patterns now. Next, we will look at right angled triangle patterns. They are even more interesting.